Hey, Luminary. So I've been talking a lot about the vision of the future, and we have our Mercury retrograde. We are in Aquarius season, and you're probably thinking, well, how the heck do I write up and create a vision of the future? And how do I use it in my work, in my business, and in my brand? Welcome to the Savvy Luminary podcast, Astrology for Entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Leslie Tagorda, creator of the Astrobrand Method, business astrologer, brand designer, author, and Aquarius boss woman. I help visionary spiritual entrepreneurs and impact makers like you illuminate and amplify your unique star powers so you can be the luminary you were born to be. Hey, Luminary, welcome back. Welcome back. A few weeks ago, we celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I think about him and I think about the work that he didn't start the work, right? The work had already started, like the civil rights movement had already started. And then he became a figure in that movement through inspiring others. And the work still continues today, where his vision, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. His signature speech, the speech that we can all remember, that as soon as anyone says, I have a dream, we think about Martin Luther King Jr. We think about his epic speech that still rings true and through today. Well, his speech is an example of a vision. And in your business, what is your vision? What is that vision that you have that you can craft a vision statement, a manifesto that you can craft so much branding and marketing materials from sharing a dream? So today, in today's episode, I'll be sharing with you exactly what is a vision and how you can use it in your brand, why it's so important, and how your astrology gives you specific insight into your unique social contribution so that you're not just like overwhelmed with the task of creating a vision of the future. So, Luminary, before we dive into everything, I just wanted to remind you that the wait list is now open for my Written in the Stars mini training. For the week of February 14th through February 18th, I'll be offering a mini training where I'll be showing up also every day for those 5 days live to answer your questions. This is your foundational training that will allow you to understand all of the symbols, all of the planets, all of the archetypes, all of the relationships that these planets have and the placements in your natal chart so that you can start and know exactly what all of these energies mean. It is a prerequisite before you start interpreting and start crafting a story of your own unique star powers. And it is a really, really fun mini training, whether you are completely new to astrology, wanting to get a very good foundation on all the basics, or you're already well versed in astrology, but want to know how to apply these individual energies in your business and in your work, how you take lead. So if you are interested in getting on the wait list and hear about our early bird specials, head on over to thesavvyluminary.com/waitlist. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm super, super excited about the future. I mean, obviously, you already heard that I am an Aquarius sun with a Jupiter sun conjunction. And so my mind is always on the big picture, the big dream, the big vision of the future. And I have a sense that you also have a big vision of the future. But sometimes our vision and our purpose can seem so vast, it can seem so unattainable, so far out that we can't actually see the little pathways to get there. And this is where your astrology comes in. The season right now, the climate of the stars, that the energy of the stars that we are currently working in, with our Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, really rethinking the future that we want to create. And then we're still at the very tail end of our Venus retrograde. Like, what are our values that are going to help us accomplish our long-term commitments? And then the sun is also in Aquarius. And so we are in the season of thinking about the future. Remember, Aquarius is all about the humanitarian needs. It's about the future. It's about for the people. It's about diversity. It's about being not just an outcast. That's not it, because an outcast feels like this total, like, kind of rebel without a cause, but instead somebody who is so unique with a cause in our business. To truly innovate and reinvent is why we need Aquarius. And so you've been hearing me talk about this combination of the Mercury retrograde, about creating our vision of the future, and then Aquarius season, just being in that season of innovating and making things new. And then with also that Venus energy with the values, and how are we calling in our people, our aligned people over a long-term goal. This is where your vision statement, your brand vision, comes in. Now, you might hear in branding, branding, again, just to kind of step back a little bit, branding is simply being able to position your business that differentiates you from all of the other people, all of the other, I hate to use the word competition, because there's more than enough for all of us. So your brand is something that differentiates you from others in your field, AKA competition. But again, more than enough for all of us. So how does a person or an organization or a company know that you are the person that's going to help them? And it's through our brand. And our brand is made up of a lot of different pieces. It's made up, when we think, like, just at the top of that level, of the tip of the iceberg, when we think about a brand and people say that they're rebranding, they're like, oh, I'm going to put together a new logo. And I'm like, well, hold on, like, before you put together a new logo, what's the energy behind that logo? Like, what's the strategy? What's the reason? And so at the top, at the most visible part, it's our identity, our visual identity, like our logos and our colors and our website. But that's what's supporting that identity is our messaging. Like, what are we here to communicate? Like, what is it that we do? Who are we here to serve? What is the problem that we solve? What are we so good at? What is our keys to success? But how do we get to that clear messaging if we don't have that clear, that lower strategy of our purpose and our ultimate mission and our vision? And I know that can seem really, really difficult. So I'm going to give you some keys on how to break that apart so that it feels a little bit more digestible. It feels like you can hone into one singular thing. Okay. So first of all, your brand vision. What is your brand vision? Your brand vision is your dream, just like Martin Luther King's dream, this idea, this hope, this belief for the future that you want to see. Okay. And now your brand vision is not just your idea and your hope of the future that you want to see, but how your work, how your business, how your role and identity has a part in creating that vision. Okay. Your brand vision incorporates your brand positioning, meaning the what you do, why you do, how you do, and who you serve, right? That's your core things that you need in your brand to be super, super clear, super, super specific, super, super excited to amplify and attract the people that you want to serve. And it also incorporates the problem that your brand addresses or solves or looks at. What solution does your offering address? Your brand vision also incorporates your brand values. What's important? What do you stand behind? And lastly, your brand vision includes the amplified results, the snowball results of transformation and change across a larger group of people when more and more people address that problem that your brand solves. And so this brand vision really is like capturing this idea of social impact, the change, the collective change of transformation that many people have, that ripple effect, that snowball effect that comes from the seed of the work that you are here to do in the world. And so when your brand vision, when we put it all together in like this capsule, we're casting forth this dream of the future. Like in a couple of episodes ago, I was talking about the people that are creating the future are really like the science fiction writers who are dreaming up things that haven't even been created. And so your chance to be that science fiction author, the authority of the future that you want to create, comes through the brand vision, the vision of the future that you hold, that you want to be part of in your work and your purpose. Whew, that gets me so excited. And so, having a clear brand vision, even though it sounds like just this big task when there's all these little other things that you need to do to keep your business moving forward, your brand vision is so important because once you have and this is not like it's you have this vision and all of a sudden it's written in stone, like permission for your vision to shift and change and morph, but to start somewhere. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's so important to have because once you have a semblance of that future that you want to hold, that brand vision, that vision of the future, this vision then resonates and magnetizes your community building and your customer retention over the shared vision of the future, right? When you're using and you're sharing your brand vision, it's going to call in your community. It's going to like have your customers stay with you because they're like, ooh, I want to be a part of this vision of your future. Your brand vision also differentiates you from all of the other people in your field. There's so many astrologers, there's so many coaches, there's so many designers, there's so many consultants. There's a lot of us and there's a lot of work to be had. And so how do we differentiate our work from other people's work? Well, part of that differentiation, besides the specificity and your approach to what you do and who you serve, is also this vision, this what you want to create in the future. Your brand vision also inspires and activates your team. So if you have employees or contractors or partners or vendors or affiliates, that team that help you build out your business, your vision will inspire them and energize them and activate them to take action because ultimately you've called in team members who share your vision. And if your team members do not share your vision, it is time to get a new team member. Your vision is also so important because now it starts to guide and strategize the future of your business and organization. So as your business grows and you're like no longer dealing with kind of the day-to-day management and systems, like once you kind of rise above that and you're thinking about how else you want your business to take shape and grow in the future, your vision is going to help you make decisions because you're going to lead with that vision in the future, step by step by step. So as your business grows, it'll be getting you closer and closer to that vision of the future that you hold. Lastly, your brand vision is so important because it is the seed of content for all of your marketing and all of your branding and all of the content creation and all your campaign and all your ideas. Your vision of the future feeds into and nourishes all of your marketing. So you're not having to guess all the time, like, what am I going to talk about today? What kind of like campaigns and actionable steps am I going to encourage my customers to take, right? When you have your vision, this feeds into all of your content creation through your marketing and your branding. So again, why is your brand vision so important? Because it resonates and magnetizes your community building and customer retention. It differentiates you from others in your field. It inspires and activates your team and allows you to discern who belongs on your team. It guides and strategizes the future of your business and your organizational growth. And it feeds your content strategy in your marketing and your branding. Whew, very powerful stuff from a simple vision. Now, when you have your brand vision created, you're going to have many different iterations of your brand vision. You might be able to distill your brand vision into a simple sentence. You might be able to distill your brand vision into a speech or a signature talk that you do. You might you might disseminate your brand vision in your website, part of your vision statement or your philosophy or your manifesto, part of your brand documents. You might also have your brand vision interlaid and interwoven through all of your content in your marketing and your sales materials and your community building and sharing your value. Of course, your brand vision is going to be part of creating your aligned brand partnerships. Who should you partner with? Well, it's very easy to partner with those right partners if there is an alignment in the future that you want to create together. So again, you're going to be using your brand vision in so many different places, in your branding documents, in your marketing documents, on your website, in your vision statements, your talks, your courses, everywhere. Now, I know that creating something so vast can feel super overwhelming because there are so many different possibilities. And I'm sure someone like you, Luminary, has many different visions, many different talents. So, how can you choose? Well, your astrology, of course, we're talking about astrology. I'm an astrologer, a brand astrologer. So I'm going to be giving you my specific tools and insights on how to use your astrology to find your unique contribution. Now, with so many different possibilities and so many different visions, I'm going to key you into a valuable astro insight. And really, this is actually an advanced topic that I'll be taking my students through in Star Powered Voice. And that's the second part of my overall framework that I will be offering sometime mid-year after Star Powered Position. So earlier, I mentioned that written in the stars, that mini training, that's a prerequisite to go into any of my other offerings where we'll be talking about star powered position. How do you position your business according to your unique star powered energies? And then how do you build out your messaging? Your vision statement, your brand vision is part of that messaging, your star powered voice. And so this is more of an advanced topic, but I know you're probably chomping at the bit, especially since we are in all of this Aquarius season, that I want to give you this valuable key. Like really, this is worth some. This is like a free training that I'm giving you, like a free astro insight into how to hone into your specific social contribution that is your vision. And so we want to look at two different places in our astrological chart to give us insight into the vision of the future, how we're supposed to make our social impact and our social contribution. The first place is you want to look at where Aquarius lives in your chart, okay? Wherever we have Aquarius by house in our chart is where we are meant to add in our businesses innovation, thoughts about the future, thoughts about humanitarian causes, thoughts about the people and the collective. Aquarius is where we are meant to innovate. Okay, so you want to look at your chart. Where does Aquarius fall in your chart? And what planets do you have in there? Those are those roles. And by house is the area of your business where you're supposed to bring in more future forward collective thinking. Now, the house that is ruled by Aquarius is the 11th house. And so the 11th house is the place in your business of society, of friends, of hopes of the future, of dreams of the future, of where we are supposed to contribute our collective social energy. So the cusp, the sign on the cusp of that 11th house of your 11th house, again, the zodiacal sign at the end of the 11th house cusp is the archetypal energy you are meant to bring in to contributing into the future. So I want to give you an example of this. Okay. So for me, my 11th house cusp is Aries. And I have Chiron in Aries right there on the cusp. So Aries is about leadership. Chiron is about having the wounded healer. So not seeing yourself as a leader, not it being safe to have your identity. Well, guess what? How this works out so perfectly is that my vision of the future is that everyone can use astrology to see that they are a leader, no matter how wounded or hurt that they have been before. So I want to share with you my vision of the future. And so maybe it'll spark a little bit of for you so that you can really look at your 11th house cusp to get that archetypal energy that you are meant to bring into that future vision of the social impact that you want your business to have. I know. It's really, really big. It's really big thinking right now, but you are the expert of your business. You are the CEO, and this is your job to do the big thinking. So my vision statement, and I have this on my website, it's kind of built into my philosophy and the bio part of my website. And it's not perfect yet, but I'm going to share it with you anyway, because this evolves. It will constantly change, but this is the seed. So remember that my archetypal energy that I'm coming through is that I have my Aquarius sun and Jupiter conjunct in the 9th house. So that is my source. And at the 11th house cusp, I have Aries. And so it's about leadership, it's about identification, and it has Chiron there. So there's wounds around being a leader. So my vision statement, I believe that you are born to be a leader. I believe that there are many different types of leaders. Unfortunately, in the world we currently live in, there are certain types of leaders that are given more value than others. But I'm here to spark and evolutionize that so that we can value many types of leadership by the way we support others instead of influence or the money one wields, so that we can redefine what it means to be a leader. I see a world where intuitive and emotional leadership is valued as much as intellectual and physical leadership, so that we can all see ourselves as contributing leaders to society. A leader is one that knows what they want, sees the value in what they do, and contributes that value with reciprocity and confidence into the world for the greater good. I believe what it takes to be a leader is recognition of your own worth and value. I believe that what it takes to be a leader is to express your value and your vision to call in your soul communities and clients. I believe that a leader is always here to contribute their star powered gifts and value in their own unique ways to make a difference in the world. When the world is guided by diverse, intrinsic leaders, we create a safe world where there is belonging and safety for everyone, not just a select few, where there is enough for all through reciprocity and sharing, not through division and scarcity, where there is deep pride and happiness through autonomy and identity, freedom and choice in identity, yet not at the expense of others. This work doesn't have to be hard, but it has to be a collective movement where people see their own potential in their own identity and leadership. Astrology is the key to reallocating energy into this intrinsic power, the power that is already within you that wants to pour forth, tapping into and radiating the genius that already lives in your bones. I want the process of astrology to be an innovative and respected tool in revealing this intrinsic leadership to those that have not seen themselves as a leader or felt that it was safe to be themselves and go their own unique way. What would the world be like if we could all tap into our intrinsic star power? What would the world be like if we knew our purpose and our potential and had the freedom to work in that energy? Sometimes it's hard to see your own potential, but I see it in you. I can help you navigate there through your star powers and chart your one of a kind success path through your own astrology. May the astrobrand work that I'm here to bring forth be the service to the whole so that you can feel comfortable in stepping into your fullest intrinsic power. When you can see yourself as powerfully as I can see you, you will spark others to step fully into their powers, who will then inspire others to step fully into their power, a ripple effect of intrinsic power that grows in social impact. When this happens, I know I will have fulfilled my vision through astrology. So that's my vision. And it's not yet perfect. I could, even as I was reading it, I was making little changes to what I had written. And I can see how I want to grow into it more. But you can hear how there's so much me, my own star powers built in by starting with the I believe of my Aquarius Jupiter Sun in the ninth house, to talking about leadership, the Aries on the 11th house, to talking about wounds around leadership with Chiron also there in Aries. So how can you customize your own vision using your unique astrology? Now, I do this for clients all the time. I have that knack of being able to uncover the right questions and looking at their natal chart to have it come through. I'm doing this for clients one-on-one through my Astro Brand intensives, which result in a brand book, a kind of an Astro Brand book, kind of like a Bible, for lack of a better word, for your business. And then I'll be doing this in a group setting at a lower price point in the summer. So again, if you are super interested in crafting this and you see the power in having this brand vision and you want some help, if you're interested in working one-on-one with me, sign up for an Astro Brand intensive where we go really deep and craft your purpose, your vision, your ultimate mission, and put everything together in this book that you can share and guide your business by. Or if you want to join that group version, I really highly suggest getting on that wait list for Written in the Stars, because that is a prerequisite to all of my other astrology offers. So Written in the Stars, we get started on February 14th, my birthday, and you can sign up for the wait list and be ahead of the game and get notified for all of your early bird bonuses by going to thesavvyluminary.com/wait list. Lastly, if you're listening this long, I have a little gift for you to help you start crafting your vision, even if you don't know your astrology or you just want to get started in there. If you head on over to thesavvyluminary.com/vision, you can download a free workshop where I will ask you questions that help you craft the vision of the future that your work is here to create. All right, luminaries, thank you so much for listening to this teaching episode. And I really hope that it sparked some interest for you in creating the future. And you can see how important it is to share your vision. All right, luminary, until soon. If you love this podcast, please consider doing me a favor and heading over to Apple iTunes and leaving me a rating and review. Your rating and review helps this humble podcast get seen and found by more listeners like you. Please share the love.